I'm fascinated by this fight, and I spent a bit of time with Josh Kelly, and I've spent a bit of time trying to pronounce this fella's name, Spence, who is fighting for the light welterweight. Murtazaliev.
All right.
How do we see this fight? I mean, I like Josh Kelly. I'm gobsmacked that he was playing paddle tennis with me last Friday on the week before a world title fight, but he was there with his trainer, so I'm assuming they know what they're doing.
Commonly, give us the result before you carry on. Who won?
It was a round robin, and Josh did very well, and Adam did very well, and Adam's very pleased with himself.
He went right round here.
Still didn't say who won, did he?
Yeah, no.
He won, didn't he?
Well, there was about 4 different games. Adam won more than he lost, which is very rare for Adam because normally he loses and he's absolutely useless, but he's gotten better.
Well, the conversation I had with Adam Booth was that he kicked his ass. That's what he said.
No, really?
Last time.
Not true at all.
That's what Adam Booth told me.
Not true at all, because Adam played with me and we won one of the games. And if I was that concerned about the reputation, I wouldn't have put Adam Booth on the phone to you, would I? I would have kept that at a distance. But let's go back to the fight. This is a difficult fight. Josh, I think, is feeling very confident, and so he should be. He's not going to sit there saying to me he's not confident. Yeah. But he's got a task on his hand, hasn't he?
He's got a massive task on his hands. You know, Murtazaliev is a tough guy. Undefeated in 23, 17 KOs. Quite an awkward guy to box. Exceptionally long reach. He throws shots from sort of awkward sort of angles, but he is a little one-dimensional. Yes, he's very heavy-handed and he has a great engine on him as well. It is a winnable fight for Josh Kelly, to be fair. Never going to be an easy night, that is for sure, because he's a good champion. But it's a fight that I can see. Josh Kelly seems to, like, he's one of those old-school sort of fighters, like he's out of the Ingle gym, isn't he? Switch hitter, you know, good head movement. It could be his night.
Yeah, I think Josh is a brilliant fighter, brilliant technician. But I also think Josh has, if he's not on top, I've seen him break before.
Right.
And I just, that's the only thing I worry about, because I think technically he's brilliant. I think Adam Booth's outstanding. But I just think it's just that there, if he's not on top, which way would he go?
Here's the thing, and this is factual. Yeah, we have seen him break before, and you've seen him gas out and run out after 6 rounds against.
It's a fashion how it happens.
But that was at welterweight, and I think that I think that he was struggling desperately. I'm not making a defence for him because he still has to go out there and prove that, but I think that as a super welterweight, he has been a different fighter. I think his engines look different. He's looked stronger, and that could be the difference. I think that's struggling a little bit too much.
And Spencer, that's what he was saying to me previously, or last week when I saw him. He was saying he feels very comfortable this way. I was talking about this kid's power, and he's going, "Don't worry about that.
Yeah.
I'm not worried about that." And do you know? Obviously, you get a sense of bravado, and I like to think I can read somebody. There was a very assured, confident, let's have it sort of mentality from Josh Kelly.
Yeah, but that could be the wrong. That could be the wrong attitude to have, because he's going in against the proven.
That's Adam's job, isn't it?
Don't get me wrong.
No, but also Josh Kelly is that fighter that's what he gives off. That he is this confident kid.
Yeah. Sure of himself. I like that. I like that.
I'm not saying it's a bad thing. But he has to proceed with extreme caution, because this kid can punch.
With respect, I mean, he will do, and I think that's Adam's job to make sure that he's aware of it, isn't he? I think Josh is in a very strong frame of mind. I think he's been through some personal circumstances, whether that's divorces himself, and I think he feels very clear in his mind as to where he's going. And I like him for this fight. And I'd like to see...
I like him for this fight.
There's people that don't know Murtazaliev, so Tim Zhu we all know, don't we?
Yeah, we've seen him.
Incredible fighter.
Yeah.
He went out there in his last fight and he absolutely obliterated him.
Yeah.
Flattened him, had him over in the first, over in the second, out cold in the third. You go, that's a serious fighter. Tim Zhu is a serious fighter.
Yeah, he can fight.
And the way he dismantled him, that's a worry that he sort of throws a check hook when you're punching. He punches
lets
with
it go.
you.
Yeah, sure.
And that's the danger, that he doesn't get too greedy, he doesn't sit there too long, because Murtazaliev will punch with him. And that is a danger for Josh. He's got to be careful, he's got to be switched on.
You remember Dalton Smith's fight?
Yeah.
So Dalton Smith was a smarter boxer, but he decided at some point after the second round to stand there and think, I'm going to give it you.
I've got to bully the bully.
And so maybe
they've seen something there.
He's got to bring it out.
I mean, that's interesting, because we felt that when we saw Dalton, didn't we? We felt that Dalton had thrown everything into that 5th round, and if he had to go much longer in the fight, he was going to have a world of problems.
The same.
Whereas Dalton himself, of course, he probably would say this, said absolutely not. I had loads left.
I think what he recognised, Dalton, wasn't it? Like, after the first round, you go, right, it's not working on the back foot here.
Yeah,
the second round,
but
it's definitely working.
I've got to go and do it.
Fire will fire.
Yeah.
And he sort of, he stole the other guy's heart.
The problem for Josh is going to be that he doesn't gas out outboxing this guy. So therefore, he's got to pace it well, because he'll either outbox him, he'll have the movements, he'll have everything going for him. But then all of a sudden he's going to think, I'm a bit tired. This guy's got me at pace. So then he's got to stand his ground. And that's where that check's going to come out.
We've got a bona fide super fight on the weekend, haven't we? we've got the WBO super lightweight title fight between Teofimo Lopez and Shakur Stevenson.
Can't wait.
Despite Ben Shalom telling me unreservedly that the generational talent in this division was Adam Azim, as it sits, which I found difficult to compute with Teofimo Lopez being in the conversation. This is a great fight. How do you see this one playing out? With Paulie Malignaggi was on the other day talking about he felt it was Shakur Stevenson's fight to win. I've got a feeling that Teofimo Lopez, I think his performance against Arnold Barbosa was outstanding. I like him. I think he keeps on surprising and disappointing in equal measure at times. But this is a super fight, isn't it?
It is a super fight. And you know what? And rightly so, Shakur Stevenson might start this fight an odds-on favourite because he's Shakur Stevenson, you know, the next Pernell Whitaker, the southpaw, the slick southpaw. But I've studied him, and you know what he does really badly, just in my opinion. Shakur Stevenson, he likes to sit in the pocket, right, and he goes back to the rope, sticks his hands up, and he tries to pot shot and do the shoulder roll and waits for you and throws an uppercut or a straight left. You can't do that with Lopez. You can't back off on him. That's my point I'm trying to say.
Lopez is trying to talk him into a tear-up. He thinks he's saying how he's acting before he needs a tear-up.
Yeah, and Lopez has already laid... The blueprint's been laid because he beat the great Lomachenko, another great southpaw. He's beating him. So he goes into this fight absolutely fearless.
And he's
fearless.
Key factor as well. He's a free-weight world champion like yourself.
Is he?
When you moved up to featherweight, when you tried to become fourth.
Yeah, sure.
And yeah. But
I tried for the fourth.
What was the difference in that weight? Because he's jumping up another weight division as well. So he was in a similar position when you boxed Robinson, wasn't he?
Yeah. But Steve Robinson
did you?
Well, Spence, let me row back from that question and
Yeah.
ask it again in a second. Let's listen to the two fighters, Teofimo and Shakur, before we put that question to Duke.
You never know how good somebody actually is until you get in the ring, or how bad they actually is until you get in the ring with them. So come fight night, we'll figure out whether he's better than Zepeda or more of a challenge than Zepeda. I know Zepeda's style.
Hold the don't try me.
Nah, I'm just saying, bro, like, you ain't fight a fighter with that kind of style yet to know, like, whether he's, you know, that's all I'm saying.
Don't try me.
You bring a different style to the table, brother. I want to prove how great I am. Like, I want the world to see the greatness within my skill set, the boxer that I am. Like, after we get out the ring, I want everybody to be talking about it. Like, yeah, I'm that guy.
You're not gonna get that all the time. If you go for people's expectations, if you go for people's expectations on what you're gonna get after that, you're gonna always be disappointed.
Well, that sort of rapport goes to Johnny's point about where Teofimo's taking this particular fight. How do you? I mean, you've fought at 3 weights and been a world champion in all 3 weight classes. Yeah, Duke. How do you approach?
I challenged unsuccessfully for 4, Simon.
Okay,
you know,
but for the purpose of this conversation, it dovetails nicely in the fact that Shakur Stevenson's fighting for 3 weight classes.
Yeah.
How do you approach it when you go into each different weight class?
You know, obviously it depends on the opponent, height, weight, size. You know, whether it's a puncher you're fighting or a boxer you're fighting. That's how you gauge yourself. But for this particular fight, I just don't think Stevenson can stand off and outbox Lopez, because Lopez can do everything Stevenson can do. You know, he can box, he can move. Lopez is the bigger puncher of the two, and I believe he's mixed in a much higher class. Like, I keep reverting back to the Lopez v Lomachenko fight, because Lomachenko was synthetically the best fighter on the planet at that point. You know, beautiful boxer, had all the moves. But, you know, what Lopez did with him in that fight... He smothered him. He did every time...
But am I right that you said that when you went up weight classes, it changed you as a fighter?
Yeah, because you...
So what is likely to be changing Shakur Stevenson when he goes into this weight class, being confronted with Teofimo Lopez?
Well, he's moving up in weight, right? So he's going to feel physically stronger.
Right.
The problem is when you fight bigger guys that are physically stronger, you hit with the best shot and they blink and they come back and they kind of take your soul because they step forward instead of stepping back. And I'm not saying, I don't think for 1 minute Shakur Stevenson's going to bottle it. He's not a bottle job at all. But, you know, that's going to be a shock to him. He'll catch Lopez with his best shot and it won't dent him, as if he can catch him, because Lopez can do... He's got all the moves, hasn't he? You know,
he does blow a little hot and cold, though. You talk about... you referred to that Lomachenko fight and you go, yeah, that was an incredible performance.
Yeah. And don't forget the Josh Taylor.
After that, when he goes and gets beat, and you just go to him, well...
Is he going to be slower,
Shakur Stevenson? He blows a little hot and cold, doesn't he?
Is he going to be slower?
I don't think he'll be slower because, like he say, like already said, he's moving up in weight. He'll be physically stronger, so he'll be able to fight at a higher work rate. But I don't really feel that higher work rate's going to work for him. Not against Lopez, because Lopez is quite cute, and Lopez is the one that will be setting the traps and chasing Stevenson. And if he's backing up constantly, you know, the judges aren't going to score. Well, I don't think they're going to score for that.
Lopez is going to try and drag him into a fight.
He's going to drag him into a fight.
Yeah. Who wins the fight?
Lopez for me.
I'm going Stevenson.
Yeah, I think Stevenson. I think there's more rhythm about his work, and I think that he's a little bit more consistent. He can bite down his gumshoe. He's shown us that, you know, in the past in certain fights, Sir Peter and whatnot, that he, you know, and he has that boxing brilliance. And I just think that, for me, Lopez fights in bursts, and I think that might be his downfall. I think it's a close fight. I think Shakur may just nick it.
You look at Terence Crawford when he boxed Canelo. Terence Crawford was coming up in weight, so he had to put the weight on.
Yep.
But he had to adapt his style to beat someone that was going to stand in front of him and try and put it on him. So he negated, he moved, he slicked, he put. Now and again stood there toe-to-toe and gave it back. So I think this is what Shakur Stevenson's capable of doing. So even though you're saying he fights in the pocket, he's put weight on so he can hold the weight a lot better and fight a lot better, more at a higher pace.
Yeah, it's a tough one. But like I say, I think if he gets stung and gets hurt early...
That's what we said about Crawford.
Yeah, but Crawford's an all-time great, isn't he?
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, but before the fight,
before
we said these physical things could happen to him.
I didn't.
That jump up in
I didn't.
That jump up in
I
weight.
picked Crawford.
Did you?
All day long.
Okay, well, that jump up in weight, look at what difference it made to him as a fighter.
Yeah, sure.
That particular fight. I think they can...
And I'm going to go... I went down the Crawford route with Duke, and I'm going to go down the Lopez route with Duke. I think Lopez just turns up when he needs to.
Yeah.
I think it's going to be a fabulous fight.
Madison Square Garden, January 31st.
He's coming to win. I'm coming to win. So let's make that happen.
He's from Brick City. I'm from the concrete jungle.
Madison Square Garden is when those paths finally meet.